the first Wildcat News Now show of 2020. We are a team of student reporters from the NFA Journalism program who report on community news and stories from our campus. My name is Karen Lau.
And my name is Emma Descola. Thank you for tuning in to watch our news packages. We have an incredible show full of culture, community, and NFA pride.
Our first story comes from Mystic, Connecticut. The Mystic Aquarium held a coastal cleanup to rid the streets of Mystic and Stonington of unwanted trash and spread awareness about climate change. Members of the Coast Guard and the NOAA Corps worked diligently to clean up over 400 pounds of plastic waste in order to protect the environment from pollution. I was on scene to cover this eco-friendly story.
My son is my most important thing I'm worried about. He's my legacy, and when I'm gone, I want him to have a place that's worth taking care of. I don't want it to be just destroyed. I want him to feel happy and feel at home on this planet.
Harris, a member of the United States Coast Guard, participated in the Mystic Aquarium's community-wide coastal cleanup to urge citizens to reduce plastic waste, recycle, and keep our neighborhoods free of litter. Since 1975, Mystic Aquarium has seen firsthand the drastic effects of a polluted earth as they rescue sick and injured marine animals. Millions of animals die each year from swallowing cigarettes, plastic bags, and straws.
It's very important, that way the wildlife and everything involved stays sustainable for us and future generations. Littering gets in our waterways, it gets in the animals and kills their environments and things like that, and we need to stop it.
Things get in the waterway, fish eat those things, we then eat those fish, and it affects the entire food chain, it affects the entire atmospheric environment. Even little things build up. If one person litters just a little bit, that leads to millions of pieces of trash in the environment that build up over time.
But a little bit of trash cleanup by each individual can make a world of difference.
In the day and age that we're in, we're trying to make every strive towards a cleaner environment that we can be. Still, we have to ask people on an individual level to hold themselves accountable for throwing their trash away and disposing of the recyclables in the correct manner.
It always helps when local organizations take the lead to organize events like this, and that is what the Coast Guard and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Corps did on this day.
So we do a lot of environmental missions to ensure we're collecting accurate scientific data that can help build policy and make effective decisions across the country about our environmental work and what we're doing. And then also on the flight side, we have a lot of disaster response missions, like the hurricane hunters that fly into hurricanes and gather data to keep our country safe and protected.
But it does not stop with this, as Coast Guard member Samuel Haley explains.
Making sure the community is clean is good. We can show our children that having a clean environment to grow up in and a clean place to live is one of our top priorities.
Climate change is a priority that is at the forefront of national and international leaders' agendas, as well as citizens around the world.
We only have one Earth, one planet, and that's it. And there's more and more of us every single year. So what we need to do is make sure that we're keeping this Earth clean and we're protecting it for ourselves and then for future generations.
It's 2019. Don't be a litter bug.
Members of the United States Coast Guard and the southeastern Connecticut community are working together to clean up our environment, protect our marine ecosystems, and pick up over 400 pounds of litter from our local community. From the Mystic Aquarium in Mystic, Connecticut, I am Karen Lau reporting for Fox 61 Student News. Wow, that was incredible that the Coast Guard members picked up over 400 pounds of trash. I was amazed.
I agree. We need to follow their example and do a better job of keeping our communities clean. Speaking of the Mystic Aquarium, they also held a penguin run, walk, and waddle to raise money to rescue and protect African penguins who are suffering from human-caused climate change. Runners and walkers alike participated in an effort to save the penguins. Reporters Aaliyah Cawley and Louise Doran got the inside scoop from the participants.
3, 2, 1, go!
Unfortunately, the African penguin is challenged by a variety of human-related causes, things like oil spills, pollution, habitat destruction, climate change, and overfishing are affecting their populations in a variety of detrimental ways, and we've seen them decline by over 70% in just the last decade alone.
Though there are many other species that have declined in numbers, on this particular day, the community bonded at Mystic Aquarium Penguin Run, Walk, Waddle event.
I
I'm really grateful for everyone who came out to support us today. It means a lot to us that the community comes out in such droves to support us.
The money raised from this event will continue to benefit the conservation work the aquarium does. Aquarium Assistant Supervisor for the African penguins, Tracy Camp.
Best, and then we have since placed over 2,000 artificial nesting burrows on the islands in South Africa to give them better habitats to nest and raise their chicks and incubate their eggs, and we have already seen over 90% of those nests occupied by penguins in South Africa.
So always remember, your actions are also affecting innocent animals. From Norwich Free Academy, this has been Aaliyah Colley and Louise Dorn reporting.
Wow, the Mystic Aquarium is on a roll lately. What an inspiring organization, and we are so lucky to have them.
The next community news story we have is all about cultural heritage. At the 28th Annual Taste of Italy Festival, members of the Southeastern Connecticut community celebrated Italian history and heritage by devouring sweet and savory treats, dancing to authentic music, and buying handmade crafts. Reporters Karen Lau and Jasmine Ortiz were on hand in downtown Norwich to get the scoop on this cultural story.
An explosion of culture and entertainment transforms the marina in downtown Norwich every September. At the 28th Annual Taste of Italy, several hundred local residents came together to dine, dance, and shop.
I feel like it's one of the only festivals really around where you can really embrace the Italian culture, and it's just a good time for everyone to come together and enjoy the great Italian food and friends and everything.
Known for its architecture, food, and art, Italy has left its mark on Italian cuisine and culture. The rich history of the Italian Americans goes back to 1880. Today, over 15.7 million Italians live in the United States.
The Italians have been here for many years. That came here early in the 1950s, 1960s. So we're trying to keep the tradition growing and staying alive.
Hosted by the Norwich Italian Heritage and Cultural Committee and inspired by pride in their roots, the Taste of Italy educates Norwich residents about Italian heritage.
Well, we like to share our culture with everybody, as everybody else should, and it should be. We enjoy our food, we enjoy our entertainment, we enjoy our art, and that's all part of the Italian culture. So we're sharing that with other people. That's what we hope to achieve.
It's important to keep traditions and cultural activities alive because as humans, that's all we really have, and it helps us to connect and learn more about each other.
Sharing culture was achieved at this year's Taste of Italy, which featured 14 local restaurants, an art exhibit from Slater Museum, a performance from All the Right Moves, and the first Harbor Fire.
It's satisfying to see people coming down with smiles on their face, enjoying the food, enjoying the music, enjoying the arts and crafts, and everything else that goes on here, the dancing and whatnot. So I always say, come on down, have a good time.
The 20th Annual Taste of Italy Festival not only celebrates Italian culture and promotes its heritage, but it also brings families together for a day of food and fun. From the Howard T. Brown Memorial Park, this is Karen Lau reporting with Jasmine Ortiz behind the camera. As someone who is born and raised in Norwich, Connecticut, I am so glad that Norwich citizens continue to show off their diversity and culture with pride. And the food looks amazing too.
Yeah, it does. Records have reappeared on the music scene, and reporters Louise Dorn and Aaliyah Colley visited a local music shop to set the record straight on the comeback of vinyl.
Records, also known as vinyl, are making a comeback in the music industry. According to FastCompany.com, 2.9 million LPs were sold within the first 6 months of 2019. By the end of the year, those sales could hit 5.9 million. Many young people who are interested in vinyl became aware of this format through their parents. Though records come in different formats, one is more popular.
Maybe the sun will shine today.
However, for some record fans, it is the process that fascinates them. In addition to the Telegraph, more and more shops are popping up in order to fulfill the demands of music lovers all over. From New London, I am Louise Doran with Aaliyah Colley on camera reporting.
Wow, I did not know that vinyl records were becoming a trend again. It reminds us of how music can unite communities and bring people together today.
Yes, definitely. Music is truly a brilliant art form. In fact, it is an essential part of our next story. Across the world in Eastern Asia, millions of people celebrate the fullest moon of the year during the Mid-Autumn Festival. Hosted by the Asian Culture Club and Chinese National Honor Society, students joined in on the celebration by baking mooncakes, singing traditional songs, and gathering with friends. Reporters Alexis Brundage and Genesis Williams caught up with a few members of the clubs. Let's hear what they have to say.
The Asian American community at NFA is certainly showing off their pride. I'm so glad that NFA students continue to put on these traditional and fun activities.
Me too. I agree. I will definitely attend the next festival held by Asian Cultures Club and National Chinese Honor Society. Next up is another story about our awesome NFA Wildcats. Though Breast Cancer Awareness Month has passed, we want to share a story with you about the NFA girls volleyball team and what they did to bring attention to this disease that affects many. Reporters Jaden Desir and Justine Liang attended the game.
It was a win-win situation for all as the NFA Lady Wildcats hosted the annual Dig Pink game against Bacon Academy. But Dig Pink isn't just about wearing pink t-shirts and socks to look good, it's really about raising money for breast cancer awareness.
They do a lot of decorating. A lot of teams, including ours, get pink jerseys or pink accessories.
Within the state of Connecticut, breast cancer is the second leading cause of death for women according to breastcancerstatistics.org. 1 in 4 women in Connecticut get breast cancer. These staggering statistics are very much a part of people's lives and communities like NFA people want to reach out and help.
We host Dig Pink because we think it's important to pay attention to and be aware of the effects of breast cancer on our community.
While the game was a success due to raising $350 for Bacchus Hospital, the girls displayed their volleyball game talent and won 3-0.
So the spirit in the gym, the day of the Dig Pink match, is really essential and really important. And I think the girls thrive off of it.
Brotherhood, great dog, sisterhood, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's about it.
It's important, I think, to shed light on an issue that affects a lot of women everywhere.
Many people came out to support the event.
It means a lot. I mean, I think most people in some way have been touched by breast cancer. My grandmother had breast cancer, and it's always something that could affect people in the future too, so you never know what the future holds. So I think it's important to keep fighting the cause and fighting against breast cancer and trying to find a cure someday.
Though no cure has been discovered yet, the resistance of patients and families encouraging researchers to continue working on a cure. From Norwich Free Academy, I'm Justine Lang and Jaden Dizier reporting.
That was so impressive. The NFA volleyball players definitely killed it at the Dig Pink volleyball game. Now let's check out the festivities that take place before NFA's annual homecoming game. Reporters Emma Driscola and Olivia Yu attended the event.
I love the people, I love the excitement, I love the collaborativeness of all the groups that come together, the alumni folks, the student body. It's just a great time, and especially when you have great weather like today, it's going to make for an awesome day and an awesome game.
I'm going to be great. I know comments. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Yo, I'm going to wear it.
What a blast! Next up is a story about all that took place during the big homecoming game against Fairfield Prep. Reporters Brett Rondeau and Jasmine Ortiz attended the tailgating festivities.
Go Wildcats!
As the NFA Wildcats celebrate their yearly tradition, everyone came out to see the homecoming game against Fairfield Prep.
A lot of our friends get together. We have a good time, a lot of bonding.
And a first down for the Wildcats.
Everyone comes out. It's probably one of our biggest showings of the year, and everyone gets loud. Everyone participates. It's a fun time.
It's just the atmosphere of the whole school. Everyone comes out, has a fun time after.
It's not only current students who attend, but hundreds of alumni return to their alma mater.
Well, you meet a lot of the old alumni that come, and it's great to come back to NFA.
The halftime show included the class banner parade, a performance from NFA's Jazz Palm dance team, and from the NFA cheerleaders. But the event that was most anticipated for was the announcement of homecoming king and queen.
It's just been going on forever. I mean, it's a great thing for the alumni to come back and visit us. It's a great thing for all of us to get together. It's older people, young people, the future alumni. Everyone is in one place. It's a fun game, beautiful day, and couldn't ask for anything better.
This is a game that everyone is excited for and has everyone hoping for a win.
my favorite thing about the homecoming game is to know that we have homecoming later, so if they win, it's like a good celebration.
The energy is at a high as all the students show their school spirit and support the team in a close game. Even though NFA lost the game, the players still tried their hardest and made the game a memorable one. The homecoming game is a great way to bring family, friends, and students from past and present together for a day of fun and football. This is Jasmine Ortiz reporting with Brett Rondeau on camera.
Speaking of sports, health is a big component of the success of being an athlete. Most teenagers need between 10 and 7 hours of sleep per night to function at their best level, and student athletes probably need more. Reporters Chris Green and Sheldon Stewart were on hand to educate us about the relationship between sleep and sports.
According to a study done by the National Sleep Foundation, it is recommended that teens get 9.25 hours of sleep per night, with athletes needing an extra hour. If sleep is cut short, the body does not have time to complete all of the phases needed for muscle repair, memory consolidation, and releases of hormones regulating growth and appetite. Insufficient sleep results in students being less prepared to concentrate, make decisions, and/or engage fully in school and social activities. Coaches see a lack of sleep in athletes in practices as well as in games. Norwich Free Academy's boys and girls volleyball coach Ryan Chaya believes that the rest is one of the most important aspects of an athlete's life. Michelle Jacaruso, NFA school nurse.
I would think like with football and some of the high contact sports that if you have a lack of sleep, you're not going to be on your best game. You know, there could be injuries more like with concussions. So yes, I think lack of sleep could affect, especially if you have like a high impact, contact sport.
Not only do our students make us proud in and out of the classroom, our teachers do too. During last summer, history teachers Kelly Kuhl and Shannon Andros traveled to South Africa with a prestigious Fund for Teachers grant. They learned about the culture and customs of the country post-apartheid and the issues that remain. Reporter Sarah Keefe covered the story.
Over the summer, NFA history teachers Kelly Kuhl and Shannon Andros traveled to South Africa on a grant to compare the cultures of Connecticut and South Africa in order to further enrich their classrooms. The grant was funded by Fund for Teachers, which supports educators' efforts to develop skills, knowledge, and the confidence that impact student achievement. After a 15-hour flight, Kuhl and Andros were greeted by friendly faces eager to greet these American women. Upon arriving, their first stop was a rugby match at a local high school. And one thing was for certain, the students' passion and excitement was very much like American high school students. Though the trip was uplifting and full of excitement, Kuhl and Andros' hearts became heavy when they experienced the hate of apartheid that, though gone, is still very prevalent in South African society. Visiting the area known as District 6 really hit the women hard when they learned that over 60,000 people of color had to relocate their homes. While their trip may be over, the valuable lessons they experienced are still fresh in their minds as these two educators' school year started. And though Andros and Cool are back in the classroom, the two are already dreaming of a way to bring yet another history lesson alive with the experiences they gain through Fun for Teachers. I'm Sarah Keefe, reporting for Fox 61 Student News.
What an incredibly diverse and fascinating educational experience. We are so glad that our teachers go above and beyond to learn more about other parts of the world. Our last story is about the annual Renaissance in Pastels exhibit in Slater Memorial Museum. Reporters Alyssa Newson and Olivia Yu attended the exhibit.
Artists and fans attended the opening reception for an annual exhibit, Renaissance in Pastel, at the Converse Art Gallery, located in Slater Museum on NFA campus. Artist Lisa Rigopoulos demonstrated how to paint with pastels during the opening reception.
Anytime I can demonstrate and get myself out in front of people, it helps me to generate people to take my classes and workshops. I also enjoy teaching people, and it's a social thing.
The demonstration was very well received by those in the audience. Many were captivated by her ability to work with pastels. Audience member Anne McCloney will
It's hard to demonstrate in front of people because any mistake gets seen and you're nervous. She was phenomenal. She just flowed. She answered questions while she did her work. Perfect.
The demonstration by Rigopoulos was a small part of the exhibit itself, which actually showcased close to 100 artists. The exhibit was put on by the CT Pastel Society.
And I think this is a great show. The Connecticut Pastel Society always puts on a great show. There's a lot of very impressive work.
The Renaissance in Pastel exhibit is one of the many exhibits shown during the year, as Museum Director Vivian Zoe explained.
It's important not only for our general visitors, but very much so for students, especially NFA's art students, to see what can be done, particularly with pastel.
It's not often that high school students are able to view professional artwork at their school on a regular basis. But since NFA has its own museum, students here have this opportunity often. From Norwich Free Academy, I'm Melissa Newson reporting with Olivia Yu recording.
That concludes our show for today. Thank you for watching our Wildcat News Now show.
We are so proud to showcase these news packages, and we hope you enjoyed watching them as much as we enjoyed reporting. Your support means the world to us. From all of us in journalism, have a wonderful day.